Have you ever wondered what happens when your heart stops beating? I never thought about it. Not until the doctors told me that I had been clinically dead for almost 10 minutes. My name is Jasim, and what happened during those 10 minutes completely changed the way I see life. It was an ordinary Tuesday evening. I had just left work and was driving home through a quiet part of town. The sky was turning dark, and a light rain had started falling against my windshield. I remember reaching for the radio. I remember hearing a song. And then, nothing. When I opened my eyes again, I wasn't in my car. I wasn't in a hospital. I was standing somewhere I had never seen before. There was no road, no buildings, no sound of traffic, just an incredible light stretching as far as I could see. And strangely, I wasn't afraid. Then I heard a voice. It didn't come from anywhere around me. It seemed to come from inside me. Jasim. I froze because that voice knew my name. And then it said something that I would remember for the rest of my life. You still have something to do. At that moment, I saw something in the distance. A scene from my own life. And what I saw there made me realize that I had completely misunderstood what mattered most. Because sometimes, you don't understand the value of your life until you believe you've lost it. Before that night, I was an ordinary man living an ordinary life. I woke up every morning, went to work, came home, ate dinner, and fell asleep. Nothing about my life seemed extraordinary. I wasn't searching for some great spiritual experience. I wasn't waiting for a sign from heaven. Honestly, I was usually too busy thinking about work, bills, and everything I needed to get done the next day. But there was one thing I had forgotten. Life doesn't always warn you before it changes. It was a Tuesday evening. I had stayed a little later at work than usual. By the time I walked out of the building, the sun was already disappearing behind the clouds. The parking lot was almost empty. I remember looking at my phone before getting into my car. There were a few messages waiting for me. One was from my mother. She had simply asked if I was coming home for dinner that weekend. I saw the message. I told myself I'd answer when I got home. I never did. At the time, I didn't think that little unanswered message would mean anything. I started the car and pulled onto the road. A light rain had begun falling. The streets were quiet, and the gray evening seemed to make everything feel slower. I turned on the radio and drove without thinking too much about where I was going.
And was that true?
My mind was somewhere else. I was thinking about work, about money, about the things I wanted to accomplish, about all the things I thought I had plenty of time to do. And that's the strange thing about life.
Right.
We make plans as if tomorrow is guaranteed. We postpone phone calls. We put off apologies. We tell people we'll visit them next week. We say we'll spend more time with our families when work becomes easier. We tell ourselves we'll finally slow down someday. I was doing exactly the same thing. I didn't know that my idea of someday was about to change forever. The rain became slightly heavier as I continued driving.
I reached toward the radio and adjusted the volume.
A song was playing quietly in the background. I remember hearing it.
Yeah.
I remember the sound of the rain.
Yeah.
I remember the headlights of another car passing me in the opposite direction. And then something happened.
Yeah.
Something happened. Something I still struggle to explain. My vision suddenly became strange. The road seemed to move farther away. The sound around me became distant. I tried to understand what was happening, but my thoughts became confused. I remember gripping the steering wheel. Then I remember nothing. When I opened my eyes again, everything had changed. I wasn't looking at the inside of my car. I wasn't looking at a hospital ceiling. I was somewhere else. Somewhere I had never seen before. I was standing in a vast, peaceful place. There were no buildings, no roads, no traffic, no familiar sounds. And yet I could see. In front of me was an incredible light. It seemed to stretch farther than I could see. It wasn't harsh, it wasn't frightening, it was warm, peaceful, almost impossible to describe. And strangely, I wasn't afraid. I simply stood there. For the first time in years, my mind was completely quiet. No work, no bills, no unfinished tasks, no plans for tomorrow. Just silence. Then I heard something. A voice. I looked around. There was nobody there. I turned in one direction. Nothing. I turned in another. Still nothing. But the voice came again. And somehow I knew it was speaking to me. Then I realized something that made my entire body freeze. The voice knew my name.
Jasim.
Jasim. I couldn't see who had spoken, but I heard my name as clearly as if someone were standing right beside me. And then the voice said something I would never forget. You still have something to do. I stood there, trying to understand what those words meant.
Something to do? What could possibly be left? I had spent years believing that success meant working harder. I thought having enough money would make me feel secure.
I thought there would always be more time to call my mother, more time to visit people I loved, more time to say the things I kept postponing. Then, far away in the light, I saw something. At first, it was barely visible. Then it became clearer. It looked like a window into my own life. I saw a familiar place, a familiar face, and then another. Memories began appearing in front of me. Moments I had completely forgotten. Small moments. Moments that had seemed unimportant when they happened. But standing there, looking back at my life from somewhere I couldn't explain, I suddenly understood something. The things I had spent so much time chasing weren't the things I remembered most.
Yeah.
It wasn't the money. It wasn't the job.
Yeah.
It wasn't the things I had planned to buy. It was the people, the conversations, the ordinary evenings, the moments I had rushed through because I thought something more important was waiting for me. And suddenly, I understood why that voice had told me, you still have something to do. Because apparently, my story wasn't finished. But I had no idea how much time I had left. And I still didn't know how I was going to get back. And I looked around again. There was still no road, no doorway, no way back. Only that incredible light stretching across the distance. For a moment, I wondered if I was supposed to walk toward it. So I took one step. The strange thing was, the closer I moved toward the light, the quieter everything became. And then I noticed something. The memories were changing. I wasn't just seeing moments from my past anymore. I was seeing people. People I had loved. People I had lost touch with. People I had taken for granted. And one face stopped me completely. My mother. She was sitting at the kitchen table in the same house where I had grown up. I could see her clearly. She wasn't saying anything. She was just sitting there, waiting. And suddenly, I remembered that unanswered message on my phone. The one asking if I was coming home for dinner. My chest tightened. I wanted to speak to her. I wanted to tell her I was sorry. But no sound came out. Then the scene changed. I saw myself sitting across from her years earlier.
She was talking to me.
And I remembered what I had done. I had been checking my phone while she was speaking. At the time, it seemed like nothing.
Yeah.
Just another ordinary conversation. But standing there now,
Watching it from somewhere outside my own life, I understood how precious that moment had actually been. Then another memory appeared. A friend calling me telling him I was busy. Another memory, someone asking me to visit.
me saying, maybe next weekend. Another. Small moments, simple moments.
The kind of moments you don't realize are important until you can no longer go back and live them again. And then the voice returned. This time, it sounded closer. Jasim. I turned around. There was still nobody there. Then the voice said, "You have been looking in the wrong direction."
I didn't understand. I looked toward the light. Nothing. Then I looked behind me. And for the first time since I opened my eyes in that strange place, I saw something different. It looked distant image.
It looked like a road. My road. The same road I had been driving on before everything went dark. I could see rain falling.
I could see headlights. And then I saw my car. My heart seemed to stop all over again. Because beside the car, I saw people. Doctors, paramedics, and my own body. I couldn't move, I couldn't speak, I simply stared.
That was when I finally understood. And somewhere in that moment, while I was standing in a place I couldn't explain, people in the real world were fighting to bring me back.
But I still didn't know if they would succeed. I looked toward the voice. Am I dead? I finally asked. There was silence. For several seconds, nothing happened. Then the voice answered.
No.
Just one word. But it changed everything.
I looked back at the scene of my body lying beside the car. Then I looked toward the enormous light, and for the first time,
I felt something I hadn't felt since arriving there. I wanted to go home. Not because I was afraid, not because I wanted my old life back. I wanted to go home because I finally understood what I had been missing. My mother, the people I loved, the conversations I had rushed through.
The ordinary evenings I had treated like they would last forever. I looked toward the light again.
Then go back.
I didn't know how.
I didn't know where to walk. But somehow, I knew I had to try. I took one step toward the image of my life. And everything disappeared.
I opened my eyes. This time I wasn't standing in that strange place. I was looking at a hospital ceiling. Everything felt distant at first. The lights above me were bright. I could hear voices around me. Someone was calling my name.
Jasim!
I tried to move.
I tried to understand where I was. And then I remembered the road, the rain, the light, the voice,
and the words that had changed everything. Then go back. I realized I had been given another chance to return to the life I had been taking for granted.
A doctor explained that I had been unconscious for some time. I listened quietly, but there was only one person I wanted to see.
My mother.
When she finally walked into the room, I couldn't say anything at first. I just looked at her. She looked tired, worried. But the moment she saw that I was awake, her expression changed. She came closer and held my hand. And suddenly, that unanswered message came back to me. The message asking if I was coming home for dinner. This time, I didn't tell myself I'd answer later. I didn't tell myself I'd visit next weekend.
I didn't tell myself I had plenty of time. I simply looked at my mother and said,
I'm here.
and for the first time I understood what those words really meant. Another chance to tell the people I loved that they mattered. Life didn't suddenly become perfect after that day. I still had work, bills, and responsibilities. I had another morning, another conversation, another chance to tell the people I loved that they mattered. But something inside me had changed. I stopped waiting for someday. I called my mother more often. I visited the people I had been postponing.
Spend time with the people who matter. Because sometimes, the ordinary moments we're rushing through are the moments that matter most.
My name is Jasim. I don't know why I was given another chance, but I know what I want to do with it. I'm gonna live differently.
Not perfectly, just more intentionally. And if this story touched your heart, take a moment to appreciate the people who matter most to you. If you enjoyed Jasim's story, please like this video and subscribe to the channel for more heartfelt stories. And remember, tomorrow.
Don't wait for tomorrow, because sometimes tomorrow isn't promised.